Good morning ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon Total, and today we are going to be doing the enlisted news of the week. This week we have a lot of interesting things, including update 0.4.8.112, making enlisted a better place number 52, weapons and vehicles of the next update, and the battle pass of the fall season of 2023. Of course, this video has been made possible through the friends at Discord, meaning if you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel, and the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. Of course, this video wouldn't have been possible without viewers like you, meaning I cannot thank you enough. That said, let's get started with the news of the week. The first thing we have for enlisted is update 0.4.8.112. This essentially fixed the traction of the tank's tracks, which isn't a big change at all. But moving on to making enlisted a better place number 52. We have a lot of interesting updates. On the respawn screen, when selecting a rallying point, you will see the distance between it and the closest capture point on the map. Additionally, Enlisted made it even easier to place rally points in the trenches dug out by shovels. Moving on, we have reworked the boundaries of battle areas on a couple of maps of the Battle of Berlin campaign. Notice that only some of them have been reworked and not all. That said, that is making Enlisted a better place number 52. Let's move on to the new weapons. For one, Enlisted has given us a lot of new weapons. These are mostly for the Japanese. These include the D4Y1, which is a new Japanese dive bomber. That is a lot like the agile Japanese fighters, that being not lacking in maximum speed and maneuverability, which allows it to sometimes outturn the enemy, and those who approach you from behind will be greeted by your gunner. The D4Y1 is armed with a 500 kilograms bomb, and it also comes with the Attacker Pilot 3 squad. Moving on, we have the Kai-61 Atsukai, which is a nimble and well-armed fighter that stands out among other Japanese vehicles, thanks to its powerful two 12.7mm Ho-103 heavy machine guns and two 20mm autocannons Ho-5 with an impressive amount of ammunition. It carries 100 kilograms bombs under its wings. Like with the dive bomber, it also comes with the Fighter Pilot 3 squad. Finally, let us move on to the tanks. The first one we have is the Honai, which is a 75mm self-propelled artillery, based on the Type 97 Kai-Ha tank. Its cannon has amazing armor penetration and powerful He shells, and also smoke shells for tactical maneuvers and helping out your team. Like with the previous squads, you will also be given the Tanker 2 squad. The next tank that we have is the Kai-Ha short gun. This monster has a whopping 120mm and is loaded with high explosive shells. Of course, you cannot compare it with the IS-2 in terms of firepower, although this Japanese tank outdoes its foreign colleague in terms of reload speed. The base reload of this Navy short gun takes only 10 seconds. I do believe that this tank is going to be one of the best tanks for the Japanese. With a 120mm gun, it can instantly over-penetrate any enemy tanks in the Pacific right now, with the armor being the only problem, since it does have the hull of the Kai-Ha. The last tank we have on the list is the Kai-Nu. The Kai-Nu medium tank was developed based on the Ho-I prototype. Its 75mm cannon became longer and more accurate. Armor penetration has also increased, and now it should be enough to defeat any enemy tank. The tank also has more ammunition and frontal armor. Along with this vehicle, you'll also get the Tanker 3 squad. Finally, let's move on to the weapons. The latest machine gun for the Japanese is going to be the Type 99 LMG, which is an upgrade of the Type 96 with more damage. Moving on, we also have the Type 2 SMG, which is an experimental Japanese 8mm SMG with a curved extended capacity magazine holding 50 rounds, a comfortable 600 RPM rate of fire, and the option to attach a Type 30 bayonet. In my mind, this is the better version of the in-game Type 2 SMG, which is given to a premium squad. Overall, all of these tanks, planes, and weapons are a great addition to Japan. And like I said in my video about the plans for Japan, I do think Enlisted is going to be building up the Japanese faction in preparation for the merge. Of course, there are also other weapons for the Soviets and the Americans. For the Soviets, we have the Lag 3-11. This Lag is equipped with a 20mm Shvak autocannon and a 12.7mm Berezin machine gun. Unlike most of the German planes, this doesn't come with bombs, which is an issue when fighting enemy infantry and tanks. And I don't think 20mm autocannons are enough to penetrate tanks. On the other hand, the Americans get the M4A3 105, which is a version of the Sherman, is famous for its shockingly huge 105mm howitzer with excellent He shells that can clear out many tanks, even without penetration on direct hit. At the same time, It retained all the Sherman's advantages, like good armor, mobility, and the legendary M2 Browning machine gun for the commander. That said, that is all for the new weapons. All of these are amazing, and I cannot wait for them to arrive, especially for the Japanese. After that, we have the Battle Pass for the fall season. This is also the 25th Battle Pass. Besides giving us a Gold Order assaulter for Allies Moscow, it also gives us the Panzer IIIN with a unique camouflage. But like with all Battle Pass seasons, we get a lot of new Gold Order weapons. The first one is the Breda PG, CR in Axis Tunisia. The Breda PG 1935 rifle was made for the Costa Rican government and has several key differences from the original Italian version. It uses 7 E57mm Mauser rounds and features an automatic fire mode with a 4-round burst limiter. This unique feature allowed the rifle to reach a much higher fire rate than the stated 350 RPM and has 20 rounds. At least in real life it has 20 rounds. I don't know how many rounds Enlisted will give to the Breda PG. In my mind, this could be the first fully automatic rifle for the Italians, and based on what Enlisted is telling us right now, I do believe it is going to be the best. On the other hand, we have the T20E1 rifle in Allies Normandy and Allies Pacific. This rifle is one of the experimental variants of the Garand M1 with an automatic fire mode and a detachable magazine holding 20 rounds. This experimental design was used as a basis for the development of the famous M14 rifle, which is still in service to this day. Moving on, we have the Type High rifle late for Axis Pacific. This variant of the Type High rifle underwent a few technological changes. Its design was slightly simplified, which increased the fire rate and improved the reload speed. The weapon was equipped with a 10-round magazine and retained its long sharp bayonet, which was essential for the army. In my mind, this is just an upgraded version of the Gold Order Type High rifle that we have in the game right now. Overall, I wouldn't get this. Moving on, we have the last Battle Pass weapon, which is the Gorov light machine gun for Allies, Berlin. This machine gun, which was unusual for the Soviet design school and vaguely resembled the Bren, it underwent testing in 1942. It uses the Lotte Saloranta M26's 20-round magazine and operates more like a semi-automatic rifle. In return for this, Enlisted gave this to most soldier classes. That said, this is all for the Battle Pass. In my mind, the Breda PG is the one that I want to get, not only because I suggested it a while back, but because it's actually pretty decent, if not really good, from what Enlisted is telling us. The final thing that the Enlisted has given us is the testing the new Enlisted. This is a very interesting thing that Enlisted has given us, and it will essentially test what Enlisted will be giving us for the new progression and merge update. Of course, as of right now, I will not be talking much about this, since I am currently still testing the dev server, and I'll put out a specific video, especially about this dev server. Hence, as of right now, I'll just state the obvious, which is that all your soldiers, their weapons and equipment, squad and individual soldier upgrades, vehicles, and stored weapons will be preserved. In the updated Enlisted, you will find them in their respective countries. Your progress will also be transferred, and unlocked content from different campaigns in the same country will be combined. Even incomplete progress will be transferred to the new tree-like progression system. So if you are at 45% of unlocking a new machine gun, you will continue from the same 45%. Already unlocked weapons and vehicles will remain unlocked in the updated Enlisted as well. If you have the same vehicles unlocked in several campaigns, these squads with vehicles will be preserved and can be used simultaneously. Only the camouflage bought for gold will not carry over. Enlisted will refund the spent gold on them after the update is released, and you can purchase them again or something new. They also refund the Enlisted gold for purchasing squad slots. And as of the new merge, every country gets 6 squads. They also replace bronze and silver with silver, and in terms of everything else, there will be 4 factions. This means that every faction has its specific set of uniforms, like winter, summer, and desert. That said, that is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Comment in the comment section down below about what do you think about the new Japanese weapons and vehicles. What do you think about the new Battle Pass? And what you think about the dev update. With that said, I'll see you in the next one.